Hello, hello. How are you doing? Well, I'm still here. We'll just, yeah. I find myself with a little bit of time where I'm actually alone. Yeah. I love my family, I really do. And even when I don't, I tell myself that to remind myself that I really do. Oh, quarantine may kill me. We'll see. Anyway, just on the other side of that wall is what the younglings and I lovingly call the pit of doom. It is my husband's pit of doom. It's his room. For about the last 2 weeks, it's where he's been working, and I don't fault him that. I don't care. It's got to happen, so whatever. But I haven't had a chance to film, and I've wanted to, because you can hear everything over there. And he's got another TV over in that room because it was originally supposed to be his gaming room. He had no intention of working over there, but you know, the world as it is. And so while he's working, he usually has one of the children in the room with him. And they'll be either gaming or watching TV when they go and hang out with him. Because that way we can have like one child watching her shows down here and son upstairs watching his show. And then there's no fighting. But unfortunately that means that everything that's going on in that room I can hear over here. Because only my side of the wall is finished. His side is not. It's just the beams. That's it. Just the beams. Just the bones of the wall. Not even an actual wall. So there is no soundproofing or anything. So I've been hearing a lot of the same song over and over and over. I can't remember what it is right now, thank goodness, and I'm not going to try and remember it because I don't want it stuck in my head again. As you can probably tell, I've got a considerable mess. I feel that's probably what a studio is for, though. This is probably normal and ideal and what you would, expect and want and whatever. It just is a little bit frustrating. I feel like every time I clean this room, bam, more mess. What I'm working on right now are miniatures. Teeny tiny. Yeah. I've already been sharing some of this over on Instagram. So if you want to see stuff that happens before I get around to filming it, then go check me out over on Instagram. I'm at Time for Tiff, and you'll be able to see stuff there before it's here. My current obsession right now, and I'm not even joking, it's an obsession. This has like consumed my for well over a week, is this. I'll give you a little bit of a tour in a minute. So it must have been, I don't know, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago maybe now? It's been a while. Just as a random, I'm not sure where the recommendation came from, but just as a random recommendation from YouTube, I stumbled on my froggy stuff. And I will link that video below, the one that inspired me and sent me on this, down this rabbit hole of obsession. Because all of this lovely, it's a printable. I stumbled on the video where she basically made a slightly larger world's smallest kind of thing. You have to see the video. I'm not explaining it properly. But anyway, this is one of her printables. And I appreciate, thank you so much. If you ever happen to see this, my froggy stuff, thank you so much. This is awesome. Over on her blog, she's got printables for this dollhouse. All the walls and the flooring and everything. And it's all free. You just upload it or download it or whatever onto your computer and then print it off. And it's fantastic. It's a wonderful starting point. In her video about this dollhouse, she recreates it so you can follow along. It's like a little tutorial. And then you can take it from there, and I'll show you where I embellished and went a little crazy. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing. This is where we started. This is the problem. Can you see that teeny tiny little thing? Yeah, that's the first piece of furniture. Actually, I made the couch first, but the couch I deconstructed and reused. Anyway, this was one of the first pieces of furniture that I made for that house, because I was thinking, oh, it'll be perfect for one of these little mini Polly Pocket sized shoppies. And as you can see, kind of, she fits beautifully in this chair. It does fit. Unfortunately, it turns out that it's way too small for this house, which I discovered when I got to the kitchen and started making. These are printables as well, the stove and counter and cupboards. And she is way too tiny. Can't even reach the stove. In comparison, the chair ended up looking way too small for the house. Fits the doll, didn't fit the house. So I had to go and make all new furniture. I even made a bed that the little choppy doll fits in, and had to make one a little bit bigger because this one turns out too small. Yeah, so there's been a lot of really fiddly, because I'm using like, that's a stir stick cut in half. Oh yeah, really tiny stuff. So what I'm working on now is the bedroom. Where is it? There we go. I've decided to paint the furniture upstairs a lighter wood. And you kind of have to paint it. I mean, it's okay. I really like the light wood, but you can tell this is like popsicle sticks. Here's the little easel, and yeah, it looks more like an actual easel instead of just a little creation of popsicle sticks. So, painting it is pretty important, I think. And when I started this project, I was going at it half-arsed. I was just like, this will be a fun little quick project, just something to occupy an afternoon. I don't need to keep it that long. I just want to see if it'll work and what it'll look like. Yeah, no. And then it completely took over my life. I ended up, got a frog in my throat. I don't think I'm drinking enough. Anyway, so after printing all the printables, I decided I wanted to protect them and make it last a little bit longer, because it turns out that it was more work than I anticipated, even just half-arsing it. It was a little bit more effort than I wanted to just throw away. So I ended up laminating, and that's why it was shiny when I was trying to show it to you the first time there. I ended up kind of laminating between pieces of tape. There we go, there's the first coat. Just let that dry. So I will give you a tour of this little house. I guess I'll mention, in the original tutorial, the recommended materials were poster board and foam board. Now, I didn't have any of those, and they're not really essential materials, so instead of going out to buy them, I just used what I had on hand. And what I had on hand was cereal box. So that's what all of this cardboard is, and you can see on the edges here the brown cardboard from the cereal box as opposed to the white poster board that was recommended. But you know what? You do what you can. So the first room I started with was this one in the center, because I really like making couches. So I made a couch, which was not this couch to begin with. It was much smaller. I will show you the scale difference. So once again, this was the original chair that I had made to go in this middle room. And this is the chair that I made when I resized. And as you can see, yeah, we got a case of chairception going on. I need help. All of the furniture is basically made up of popsicle sticks, just the regular kind. The large, I guess these are like tongue depressors. I think in this case they're called crack sticks, but whatever. They're like the large popsicle sticks. The skinny, really long stir sticks. And toothpicks. Those are my building materials. For these couches, obviously I painted them like a red purple. And then the seat cushions are foam. Then from there I moved on to the kitchen, but we'll continue with in this room. So what else I made in here is a floor lamp, and that's just, oh, actually I used one of these too. I have no idea what these things are called. Owls? Is that a wooden dowel? Yeah, I think that's what it is. One of these little skinny craft owls. So that's what I used for the floor lamp. And you can't really see it, but the base is just a little piece of foam, just like to give it a nice surface to stand on. And then the shade is just a piece of cardboard that I made thinner by like separating the layers. And I just really liked, I can't remember what that's from, but it's from something I hung on to. Just a really nice purple. And then in the back there I made a little, what's that called? A little hearth for the fireplace. And there's a little rug, which is just a piece of faux fur fabric. One of the newest additions is this little wall lamp. And that's again just some toothpicks and a little bit more of that cardboard for the lampshade and a piece of foam for, I guess, the mounting. I used some felt for cushions, and that's just a square of felt wrapped up with a slightly bigger square of felt to make it look like a cushion. I have a little glass topped table, which is just some acetate glued onto some pieces of paper clip. I also made a painting. Oh yes, I did. I cut this from a slightly bigger square, and then I'm still waiting. I have a piece of art in mind for this wall, but I'm stumped on it right now because I can't find what I need for it. I want a little nail sticker and I can't find the right nail sticker. I know it's in this house somewhere. I just don't know where. Okay, moving on to the kitchen. So here's the little kitchen. This was actually the first room I completed, but it was the second room that I started. This room had a bit of a transformation as well, because I started gluing some stuff in, and then decided I wanted to change some things, so I started changing and sort of half-arsing it as I was going. Decided I didn't like it, and I wanted to actually keep this house because I liked how it was turning out. So I ripped all of the, except for the window, I ripped out all the cabinets and the fridge and all this stuff down here, reprinted, and bulked them up properly with actual cardboard. Before they were just like flimsy. And you can't really see it, but in the back here I drew in a sink because there wasn't a sink on the counter in the original printout. So before I laminated it with tape, I drew in a sink, and then before I glued this piece in, I glued on a little bit of paper clip, just plain metal paper clip. I folded into, or bent it into a faucet shape, and a couple of tiny beads for taps. Fun fact, this little window is actually upside down. I didn't realize that until after I had put everything in. And even though I changed pretty much everything else in the kitchen to make it look better, I kind of like that little derpy, I guess it's not really a secret because I've told you now, but I just like that little derpiness. And then I've got a little bit of fabric that I coated in Mod Podge to stiffen it up for a curtain. The fridge, added some teeny tiny little pictures, table and chairs, I've glued the table down but didn't glue the chairs because I like the idea of using this for toy photography, and not gluing the chairs gives me a little bit more leeway and play. The chairs are popsicle sticks and toothpicks with little bits of foam for seat cushions. And this wood was painted in a dark brown. I just like the contrast of the dark in the light room. I have a couple pictures on the wall. Can't really see them. That's a little bit of the canvas from here. And then the other one is a little bit of the cardboard from here. And the final thing I did when I glued on, well, before I glued on the ceiling slash floor, I added a little glass bead for a boob light. I don't know what they're actually called around here. We call them boob lights, the ceiling lights that look like boobs. But yeah, so there's that one. And then the last room that I've, again, kind of finished. There's a missing element, but I'll get to that in a second. The last room I finished is the last room on the main floor. Okay, so this room was giving me some trouble. I wasn't sure what to put in it because I had already put in a couch and didn't really want to do that again, but I really wanted to use this bookshelf. So I settled on an entertainment room. And what I did for that is right back here, this is the original couch. I added it to another couch that I made and turned it into a sectional sofa, or as my son accidentally called it, a sexual sofa. Sure. I painted that a blue purple, so it's a little bit different, but not really. This is, after all, my ideal house, and I love purple, so I would probably have more purple than this if I had the option, but purple walls were not available on the printouts. Green is the closest I could get to my favorite colors. For this one, I didn't have enough of the purple foam to make cushions. I don't know where that purple foam came from, but I don't appear to have any more. So I found some purple felt and ended up using purple felt for the cushions on the sectional, which I really ended up liking, because even though both the foam cushions and the felt cushions I Mod Podged when I Mod Podged the wood, so everything would be protected, and I kind of wanted it to have, since the house itself with its like lamination looks plasticky, I wanted the furniture to kind of look plasticky so it looks like a dollhouse, realistic-ish, but a dollhouse. So that's why I Mod Podged over pretty much everything. And I really like how this ended up. Even though it's been Mod Podged and it is considerably stiffer than it would have been if I had just left it felt, it still looks fuzzy, which I think is really cool. So now, like, even though I have technically a couch in both rooms, well, literally a couch in both rooms, over here with the foam cushions, it looks a little bit more like streamlined and bougie, and over here with it being fluffy, it looks a little bit more relaxed, and so I think this is more fitting for the entertainment room. I also made a tiny little coffee table, and pretty much everything in this room is glued down. I made a little TV, because this wall is just plain and white and a little boring. So I made a nice big flat screen TV to go on the wall. Yet another little piece of art from the bigger square. This one I think is really cool. It looks a little bit like a flower. And then I put because this has a window, I put up a curtain. I used a toothpick for the curtain rod in this case, and little beads for the finials. And this is an actual curtain panel. Again, for anybody following me on Instagram, you will probably recognize this fabric as being the same fabric that I used to make my witch robe. I ended up gluing it down though, because I think that's fitting. If you're going to be watching TV or a movie or whatever, you probably don't want, the curtain down, so it's kind of like a movie theater feeling. And this is a pretty stiff fabric, so it would have been difficult to tie it out of the way or have it held up or whatever. So I've just got it permanently down, but I think that's fitting in this room. And then this room got a glass bead as a ceiling boob light as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this, but I have a little bit of a sock with candy corns on it because I love Halloween. And I was thinking of using that in this room as like blanket. I don't know if I like it yet. So it's there for now. But I'm not gluing it down or anything because if I decide I don't like it, I just take it out. Okay, so I waited until pretty much everything on the first floor was done before gluing on the top because it's really difficult to get in. Because I had a hard enough time with the walls up. So I knew putting the ceiling up, it would be like, okay, that's it, that's done. I can't add anything else. Although I do still need pictures, but that's okay. Those are sort of outer walls. I can still do that. But I finally decided that it was time to move to the second floor. So as you can see, I chose different flooring. On my Froggy Stuff's blog, she has a top and bottom marble and a top and bottom wood planks. And I liked them both, so I decided to get one of each. I have the bottom floor marble and the top floor, the wood planks. Right now, I have only glued in one wall. This is going to separate the bedroom from the bathroom. Obviously, there's nothing going on in the bathroom yet because I don't have anything yet. I'm still looking for the perfect thing to use as the tub. In the bedroom, I glued in my first piece. This one I'm super proud of as well. It's like a little armoire, wardrobe, closet, whatever you want to call it. And this again is just craft sticks, popsicle sticks, and stir sticks. And then I added a couple, actually a few, because there's 3 of them, some beads as like drawer pulls and closet knobs, and keep that a nice light brown so you can see the difference between the kitchen and upstairs. Like I had mentioned earlier, I had made a bed and I thought it was really cute. There's a little pillow and a mattress and a blanket and everything, and little shoppies fit inside, which again, this house was originally intended for them, so yeah. But then after making the wardrobe and loving what that looked like, the bed in comparison, I think, is tiny. Hence the rebuild. And so far what I'm thinking of doing, so I've made an easel. I think that'll go on that side. Up here, my Froggy Stuff did a bathroom, bedroom, and yoga studio. I'm not much of a yogi, so I've decided I'm going to do a bathroom, bedroom, and art studio. That's more my style. And I don't know if I'm going to end up putting a wall. I kind of like the idea of having an open bedroom art studio, sort of like a loft feel. Time to put a second coat on the bed. Let's find all new fabric for the bedding as well. And I don't have enough purple foam, so I might have to choose either a different color or a different material for that as well. I honestly wonder how long I can stretch out this project for. It's already taken well over a week. So that's basically where I'm at. Now I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do next, what I need to do. Need, of course, being loose, because I don't need any of this. Although maybe I actually do, because I am struggling hardcore. Yeah, just to get serious for a minute, I'm not having a good go with this. I've mentioned it before, but I don't think I've mentioned it here. I don't remember where I've mentioned it. Anyway, I'm a trauma survivor. And a suicide survivor. And I struggle daily with a whole grab bag of additional mental disorders. Depression, anxiety. Yeah. But the trauma in particular it's really hard. This like forced isolation, no answers, fear of the unknown. It's really triggering. Having everybody home, not having any kind of routine, grocery day, needing things but not knowing if we're going to be able to find them. Yeah, it's a lot. And I know it's a lot for anybody. So I guess there's a little bit of comfort in that. And maybe some of you will understand what it's like to be in an anxious mind because, oh yeah, this is what my brain does 24/7. But yeah, what I was getting at is I guess I do kind of need these miniatures. I do kind of need this project because as useless as it might seem to others, as pointless as it might be in the grand scheme of things, it's keeping me here. It's keeping me at least somewhat sane. It's giving me kind of a purpose, or at least, you know, a reason to keep going. So I can make the next piece of furniture, the next whatever. I'm afraid I won't be able to be too creative or, I don't want to say extensive, but I won't be able to do much for vlogging. It'll have to pretty much be here in the studio. Maybe I can take you on a walk. I still like to sneak out, go to the cemetery. It's nice and quiet. Get some fresh air. Maybe I'll take you for a walk one of these days. We can chat then. It's really, really difficult though. I know I need to reach out, and I know technically this isn't reaching out because very few people actually see these videos. And the people who do, you know, might see it days, weeks, months after. So it's not like I'm actually communicating with anybody. It's not like I actually have, you know, a community, but I can at least talk out loud, and talking to a camera and the potential interwebs makes me feel like maybe I'm not alone. And this is why I don't like unscripted videos. Oh, because here I am caught in a ramble cycle and I have no idea how to get out of it. How do you end it? How do you sign off? What do you do? I mean, I should know this. I watch vlogs. I love vlogs. I love the talking to the camera, personal attention kind of thing, but I don't know how to do it. I'm sure this video is going to be a nightmare to edit. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I think I'm going to call it A-okay for now. I just wanted to pop in, touch base, share my current obsession. I'll be back with a completed or a follow-up or whatever when I get more done. The awkwardness commences. Okay, if this video sees the light of day, then I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're staying safe and staying sane. Thank you very much for being here, for indulging me, and for letting me take some of your time. I appreciate it. I'll be back. I don't know when. Until then, stay fabulous.